oligopolies like Google and Apple are terrible when it comes to playing fair and market innovation. And I humbly believe that this decade, these companies here will be broken up or regulated. Apple and Android dominate the smartphone market. And, mobile innovation has died. And when these awesome, Apple iPhones and Android smartphones first came out, it was so exciting to download new killer apps or games. And then innovation kind of just stopped. And what Apple is doing in the gaming market by offering their own arcade service and promoting that instead of allowing other gaming companies to thrive on their platform is a material issue, right? It's anti-competitive. I remember I used to really look forward to games coming out on iOS, like Field Runners 1 and 2 on iOS. And there were awesome new games released every single week, right? And the new games on these platforms are now brutal, except for that NBA game. And the same thing can be said with new apps. Okay, innovation has died, and I think it's because oligopolies tend to abuse their market power, right? And it's actually similar in the airline industry as well. Two big companies more or less dominate the industry. You've got Airbus, which is owned by EADS in Europe, and you've got Boeing, which of course is based in the United States. And in my entire life, all 50 years, we have not seen the speed of these birds or these airplanes in the sky increase at all. The speed of travel is still the same as it was back in the 1960s. It's ridiculous. Now, the aircraft market is an oligopoly. And to be intellectually honest, it's very CapEx intensive to compete in that market, which is why it's still dominated by a handful of companies. But it's a great analogy to use when it comes to the lack of innovation. Competition, we know, is good for consumers. And I do think that these companies should be broken up in order to increase competition and innovation, especially Google, which owns the two biggest search engines in the world, which are Google and, of course, YouTube.